Dear friend, pause for a moment and place one hand on your heart. Feel the gentle rhythm that has served you since the day you were born. Now imagine a tiny companion, a quiet seed from Himalayan forests, that helps your heart and mind remember peace when the world forgets. Imagine a reminder so small you can wear it, touch it, breathe with it, and carry it into every meeting, every journey, and every prayer. I am speaking of Rudraksha, the humble bead linked with Shiva, honored by seekers across centuries. I do not ask you to accept a myth or reject it. I ask you to test, kindly and sincerely. If this bead becomes a doorway to steadier breath, calmer nerves, and a more compassionate gaze, would that not be a precious companion to carry? Today, let us enter this subject with reverence and practicality. We will look at what Rudraksha is, how it may help, how to choose and consecrate it, and how to use it gently in daily life. Above all, we will keep the focus on your experience, not on fear or superstition. Let the question guiding us be simple: if a small, natural bead can train my attention toward the divine, soften my reactions, and remind me to pause, will I give it a chance? Come, sit comfortably, breathe softly, and open your heart. Let the noise settle like dust in sunlight. As you listen, hold the possibility that transformation is not always dramatic or distant. Sometimes it is a string of very small choices, repeated with love, until the mind learns a new rhythm and the soul begins to shine through. Rudraksha is not the destination, it is the walking stick that steadies your steps. Carry it well, and it will carry you back to your center. In the minutes we share, I promise to guide you like a gentle friend, never pushing belief, always inviting experience. You will hear what a Rudraksha truly is beyond slogans, the subtle ways it supports attention, breath, and mood, the practical steps to choose one safely and ethically, the simple act of consecration that turns an object into a prayer, and daily uses that fit the busiest life. We will also clear common myths so your faith rests on clarity. This is not about collecting charms. It is about training awareness with compassionate tools. When you hold a bead during calm breathing or mantra, your nervous system learns safety and rhythm. When you touch it during stress, it becomes a cue to pause. Over days and weeks, these small shifts add up. The mind that was scattered begins to gather. The tongue that was restless begins to speak more kindly. The heart that felt heavy begins to feel light for no special reason. If you are new, I assure you, start with what is simple, like a 5-mukhi bead, and let sincerity be your guide. If you are experienced, consider refreshing your practice with a beginner's mind. My promise is that you will leave with a complete, usable approach, free from fear and full of love. You will know how to begin today, how to continue tomorrow, and how to return whenever you forget. Carry the bead not as a burden but as a friend. Carry the intention not as pressure but as joy. Carry yourself gently, for the divine is already near. Let your own experience be the teacher, your breath be the scripture, and your kindness be the proof that practice is working. Rudraksha is the dried seed of an evergreen tree that grows in the Himalayan region and other sacred climates, long cherished by yogis and householders alike. The word itself joins Rudra, a name for Shiva, as the compassionate transformer, with Aksha, meaning tear or eye, so the seed is remembered as the tear of Rudra, a symbol of divine compassion for wandering humanity. Whether you take this as literal history or elevating poetry, the teaching is the same. Creation wishes for your awakening, and nature offers tools to help you remember. Each bead shows natural grooves called mukhi or faces, and seekers noticed that wearing a bead or using a mala for mantra steadied thought and deepened prayer. In practical terms, think of a Rudraksha as a portable sanctuary. It is a small, tactile reminder to return to your center. When fingers feel its texture, the mind receives a message: slow down, breathe, remember. This cue, repeated many times a day, begins shaping new neural pathways. Old reactions soften, a gentler attention appears. Spiritual objects also carry association. If you use your bead only during sincere moments, calm breathing, heartfelt prayer, acts of kindness, it becomes a storehouse of that mood. Later, a single touch can reopen that atmosphere, like the fragrance of a familiar temple. In this sense, the power is not trapped in the object, it lives in the relationship you build with it. I invite you to approach Rudraksha without superstition and without cynicism. Bring curiosity, respect, and patience. Do not expect fireworks. Expect a candle, steady, warm, dependable. As you keep company with such steadiness, your own mind learns to imitate it. This is the quiet meaning of transformation, 1,000 gentle returns to the heart until the heart stays open by itself. In that openness, wisdom, love, and courage naturally grow. You may wonder how a simple seed can influence the landscape of your inner life. Think of 3 subtle forces working together: attention, association, and rhythm. Attention is creative, where it goes, energy flows. A Rudraksha on the body becomes a cue that gently redirects attention inward. When you touch it, you remember to inhale slowly, exhale fully, soften the forehead, release the jaw. That single breath changes chemistry, heart rate eases, stress hormones settle, the prefrontal regions that govern clarity and empathy come back online. Because the cue is physical and portable, you can use it anywhere, in traffic, at your desk, before a difficult conversation. Association, or samskara, means objects absorb the mood in which we use them. If you meet your bead only in sincerity, during prayer, devotion, and kind intention, it becomes saturated with that fragrance. Later, even a brief touch can reawaken the inner temple it carries. Rhythm is the language of the nervous system. Counting mantra on a mala synchronizes movement, breath, and sound. In a few minutes, agitation melts into a quiet pulse. The wandering mind feels held, like a child rocked to sleep. None of this requires blind belief. It requires repetition with love. Day by day, the mind learns that calm is safe, that stillness is nourishing, that returning to center is rewarding. Over time, reactivity gives way to response, and response gives way to intuitive wisdom. Then the bead is no longer just an object, it is a doorway. Every touch says, "Come home." And because you carry it, home is always at hand. This is the subtle science, not a miracle outside you, but a method that awakens the miracle within you. With patient practice, this inner environment becomes your default setting, so challenges arrive and depart while your awareness remains spacious, kind, and quietly bright. Choosing a Rudraksha is like choosing a meditation cushion or a favorite book of prayers, simple, sincere, and personal. If you are beginning, a 5-mukhi bead is widely recommended for general peace and steadiness. It is gentle, accessible, and suitable for most seekers across age, profession, and path. Focus first on authenticity and comfort rather than rarity. Seek a trustworthy seller who respects tradition and the environment. Examine the bead for natural lines that run from one pole to the other. Avoid pieces that look carved or artificially altered. A medium size that rests comfortably against the skin works well for daily wear, while smaller beads may suit a 108 bead mala for mantra. Let your body be a guide. Hold the bead in your palm, breathe, and notice whether your system feels quietly at ease. Ethics matter in spiritual life. When possible, choose sources that support fair livelihoods and sustainable harvesting. The spirit of ahimsa infuses practice with grace. If your skin is sensitive, you may wear the bead over clothing or try a wrist mala that does not rub continuously. Care is simple: keep it clean and dry, avoid harsh chemicals and extreme heat, and occasionally apply a drop of natural oil to maintain suppleness. Remember that Rudraksha is not a medical device and cannot replace professional care, medicines, or therapy. It is a companion for attention training and devotion. Approach selection with patience, not urgency. A modest, authentic bead used with love will serve you better than any rare piece used with anxiety. As you grow in practice, you may explore other types if truly called, but the heart of the journey is not the number of faces, it is the sincerity of the face you bring to God. Let simplicity lead, and let quiet joy confirm your choice. Consecration is the art of making an object into a prayer. It is less about elaborate ritual and more about sincerity of heart. Begin by gently cleansing the bead in clean water. If you wish, touch it briefly to a little milk and then rinse again, drying it with care. Light a small lamp or candle and, if comfortable, an incense stick, not for show but to invite a sacred atmosphere. Hold the bead at your heart and breathe slowly. Repeat a sacred sound, Om or Om Namah Shivaya, with full feeling. If time allows, count 108 repetitions, letting the vibration soak the bead and your own nervous system at once. Then speak your intention in simple words. May this Rudraksha remind me to be calm, kind, and God-aware. May it protect my thought and guide my steps. In that moment the bead ceases to be a neutral object, it becomes a carrier of your best aspiration. When wearing, choose a comfortable length for the neck or a snug, easy wrist mala. Keep it clean and dry, remove it when bathing with soaps or very hot water, and from time to time apply a drop of natural oil so the seed remains supple. If you use a 108 bead mala for japa, treat the Meru or Guru bead with respect. Do not cross it, instead, reverse direction for another round. Wear the bead not as decoration but as remembrance. Before a difficult task or conversation, touch it, breathe, and invoke clarity. Before sleep, hold it and release the day into the divine. In this way, wearing becomes worship, and every day turns into a moving temple where devotion and discernment walk together. With time, this gentle continuity matures into a steady prayerful mood, and your choices and speech begin to reflect the consecration you offered. Daily use is the bridge between inspiration and transformation. Keep the practice small and kind so it survives busy days. In the morning, sit comfortably, hold the Rudraksha at your heart, and breathe in for a gentle count of 4 and out for 6, letting the exhale soften the whole body. On each exhale, quietly repeat Om Namah Shivaya or simply Om. Touch the bead once per breath for a minute or two, and end with a smile of gratitude. This first act sets the tone for the day. As the hours unfold, let the bead be your secret pause button. When tension rises, when anger flares, when sadness lingers, touch it lightly. Take one calm breath, feel your feet on the ground, and allow your response to be wiser than your first impulse. Use the mantra if helpful, or simply breathe while remembering your intention. Evenings are for integration. Hold the bead and review the day with kindness, not judgment. Thank the moments you met with grace, forgive the moments you missed. Offer both to the divine. Once a week, give yourself a longer sit. Count 108 mantras slowly on the mala, not racing, not performing, just abiding. Let the mind fall into the rhythm until it tastes a deep stillness. These small sessions gradually teach your nervous system that safety and clarity are available. You will notice that arguments resolve faster, cravings lose their grip, and joy appears without a reason. This is how a portable practice becomes a portable peace. If you travel, keep the bead in a clean pouch and repeat your morning minute wherever you are, hotel room, train seat, or a quiet corner of a park. Remember, frequency is more powerful than intensity. Many tiny returns shape the mind more surely than rare heroic efforts. Let us clear the fog of myths so your devotion can stand on the rock of truth. Rudraksha is not a shortcut through life's curriculum. It does not erase karma like a coin erases a debt. Rather, it supports you to face lessons with clarity and love, which changes the way karma unfolds. Do not let fear creep into your practice. You need not worry about countless rigid rules. Keep the bead clean, handle it with respect, and do your best with a relaxed heart. People from any path may use it as a tool for mindfulness, prayer, and compassion. God is not narrow. Love answers any sincere call. Tend also to common sense. Avoid harsh chemicals, avoid prolonged soaking and extreme heat, and if irritation appears on the skin, pause or wear it over clothing. Treat the thread and knots with care. If they break, do not panic, receive it as a reminder to renew your sankalp and restring the mala with gratitude. Be wary of extravagant claims, guaranteed wealth, instant miracles, or immunity from all trouble. Real miracles are quieter, the habit of pausing before reacting, the courage to forgive, the strength to be truthful, the sweet joy that arrives without a reason. Finally, remember that the true power does not live in the seed by itself. It awakens in the relationship between your sincere heart, your steady breath, your whispered mantra, and the grace that meets you when you take even one honest step. Keep walking. In this gentle companionship, the bead becomes a bell that rings you back to yourself, and the self it rings you back to is vast, kind, and free. Over months, such calm realism forms an inner sanctuary that travels with you into work, family, success, and sorrow, so you remain rooted while life continues to change. Beloved seeker, transformation is usually quiet, like the way dawn enters a room through a thin curtain. Rudraksha will not shout, it will whisper. Each day you hold it with gratitude, breathe with it, or count your mantra upon it, you polish the mirror of the heart. Slowly the reflections of fear and restlessness fade, and the simple light of your own soul begins to shine without effort. This is the fruit of gentle constancy. If today's guidance served you, take the next kind step, obtain a modest, authentic bead, consecrate it with love, and begin a small daily rhythm you can keep. Let the bead be your ally in moments of stress and your bell of mindfulness in moments of calm. Share this learning with a friend who is seeking peace, because light grows by sharing. I invite you to support this work by liking this video, subscribing for more spiritual guidance, and sharing your experience in the comments. Type, I will pause, bead, breathe, as a promise to your own heart, and tell me what practice most helps you return to center. Your words may lift another pilgrim. As you walk on, remember that the divine is both the goal and the companion. Trust the process, be tender with yourself, and celebrate small victories. Even one sincere breath is holy. May you carry the Rudraksha as a sign of friendship with God, and may that friendship flower into wisdom, courage, and joy. From my heart to yours, I offer blessings. May your days be luminous, your nights restful, and your path guided by quiet grace. Jai Guru Dev. If this message resonated, consider revisiting it whenever you need encouragement, and allow the calm tone to re-enter your breath. Carry the bead, carry the prayer, carry the smile that follows.